Welcome to Megadads Live, episode 118. I'm glad you're here. On today's episode, we're talking all about Honkai Star Rail, problems with Disney Dreamlight Valley, and we're nut or no nutting over Robocop Rogue City. So strap in, here we go. This is Megadads Live. Either of you have the issue where like it is not possible to keep like your asshole area clean enough?
I have some crazy stories right now.
Like, not for any other reason. Like, I'm just of that age now where I get to like 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it is just a fucking swamp down there. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. I shower every day. I wear clean clothes. But just throughout the course of my daily life, now that I've hit my early to mid 40s, my junk area is just an absolute disaster. Okay, so like obviously you get sweaty, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with the sweaty asshole,
oh, it doesn't stop there. There's more.
It's like right.
It's like you know how that's normal.
Like, it's a ditch at that point, right? All of the water has just flowed to this part of your body. And then you got a wet butthole, you're doomed. There's nothing you can do.
Okay.
Anybody else?
This is your problem, okay? Because you said this to begin with. You're like, you know how you have no idea what to do. Like that's where you landed, which is like, I guess I'm like this forever now.
Megadads Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the Megadads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids. So put on those earmuffs and let's go!
There are cleaning products. We live in the internet age. Like, you gotta Google something. You have to buy multiple products immediately.
You don't need to buy multiple products. You go to Amazon. Okay. You buy like the biggest container or biggest package of like socks, cheap socks that you can find. You take the sock one day at a time and you just like put it in your butt cheeks. It catches the stuff. You throw it away at the end of the day, or God. As needed, on those extra swampy days,
like a lint trap.
Right, but for junk water, yeah.
Because I don't want to be
like
one of those guys
filter.
that has to like powder my butt. I know that's a thing. I know people powder their areas. I don't want to powder my
I'll do some baby powder at night because I sweat at night, like for whatever reason. But I don't.
I sweat like fucking crazy now.
Yeah, it's your blood pressure. That's my theory.
Is it?
Let me ask you a question. We need a bidet update because I bought you a fucking product to take care of this. I bought this man a bidet and he hasn't installed it, and he's out here complaining to the internet about his dirty asshole. I don't know what to do. Install the fucking bidet.
Based on the problem he's putting out here, I can understand his hesitance to add more moisture to the equation.
It freshens you up, man. It's like a whistle.
Here's
what I mean?
The update on the bidet. I attempted to install this bidet on my upstairs toilet, right?
No.
Hold on, just listen. The type of toilet seat that we have installed, it is not compatible with this bidet, okay? So my wife says, are you going to put it downstairs? And I am. I have it. And I'm going to install it downstairs, but I primarily deuce upstairs.
Not anymore.
So I need a bidet solution for both levels of my house. Okay? So I still have it. I fucking went through the whole thing, tore this thing apart, unhooked my toilet seat, unhooked the water, did all the shit. And then I went to put it on, and it doesn't fit with my upstairs toilet seat. So I will provide another update. But yes, I am going to use the butt washer that you gave me for my birthday.
I've never heard of anyone having 2 bidets. It's like, you know, when you were younger and somebody had 2 TVs and you're like, oh, you're fucking fancy. Like, I never heard of someone having 2 bidets. But
I can't start pooping downstairs now. Like it's like when you're married and you pick your side of the bed, right? Like this is where I go.
You've claimed your spot.
Yeah, this is where I go.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is where I shit.
This is where I poo. This is where I put it. That's where it goes.
My poo goes here.
Get to know you question, okay? This speaks about your soul and the quality of it. You get to pick the tattoo for your worst enemy. What do you make them get and where does it go? I'm going to go first, okay?
Oh, all right.
And I thought about it first, okay? So, what is a guaranteed killer of your job prospects, love life, public like interactions? An arrow, right? By the mouth that says insert here. Like insert here on your cheek. Okay. And then an arrow to like, and then like a target, like little thing.
Like a scribbly line?
Yeah. Like, you know how like a target symbol is? Just like right here. So when you're talking, it's like opening up to you, like the target, and says insert here.
Oh, okay. I see.
You can't live a normal life after that. You just can't.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna get. Here's where I'm going. All right. You guys
keep going.
You guys remember during the vice presidential debates when the fly landed on Mike Pence's head?
Yeah, that was wild.
My worst enemy's got to get Mike Pence's face tattooed on their belly.
Ooh.
And the fly is their belly button. So like Mike Pence's face is kind of down by your dick area. And his silvery white
so
hair.
Like is the dick the nose?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to. So I understand how big this is gonna be. So the dick plays where it's like the dick is like the goatee of like Mike Pence almost. Like
he ain't got no goatee. That boy's never grown facial hair in his life.
Well, now he does. It's made of scrotum.
Maybe the penis could be his necktie, and then. And then
I'm seeing it.
His face is like midway between the dong and the belly button, because the belly button has to be the fly in the hair.
Okay, all right.
And you know that nobody ever gonna fuck this person again.
Back when Twitter was Twitter, that fly had like it was in like the top 10 follower count. Or something like that.
That's
like
a big deal.
Extremely
some popular novelty account for the fly, because I don't think the fly.
Yeah,
you know,
good times. It was a simpler time.
Was it?
Was it?
All right, Will.
Okay, so first thought I had, and this isn't necessarily ruin all your prospects caliber, but it's you will never go to a pool and take your shirt off again.
Oh, you're taking swimming away from this person.
I'm probably taking tank tops away from this guy.
Ouch.
But okay, so do you guys know like those huge Yakuza back tattoos?
Yeah.
That have like dragons winding all over stuff?
Yeah.
The old koi fish and
Yeah, it's like that, but it's like a veiny purple dick.
Really intricate detail.
Really intricate,
and
yes.
really long, and it kind of
really long. It's like snaking around
in the Oriental art style. That is really good, Will. I think you win this one. That is great. That's a great get to know.
What kind of decoration is surrounding the dick? Is there like a tsunami or something coming in from the side?
A yin and a
There
yang.
is, but it's yellow.
Oh, yeah.
Yellow waves.
Yeah.
A little bit of, a specific white substance up here on the shoulder.
You know that cat that like puts its paw up and down?
Yeah.
Well, the lucky
like
cat,
that.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just pawing at that big old...
Yeah, there's one of those in like the bottom right corner, but instead of the coin, it's another dick.
This show is weird. All right, Will, I'm very interested to hear about Honkai Star Rail. Sounds like a disco album. Honkai Star Rail.
Honkai Star Rail. Okay. Yeah, I figured you'd be. I'm a little surprised you haven't played it yet.
I'm scared too. Because I'm
scared. Why are you scared too?
I'm still in the Genshin world, and I don't know that my body is ready for 2 of these kinds of games to own my ass.
Okay, I see. One, Star Rail is wildly different as far as how it plays. It is a turn-based JRPG kind of experience. I'm getting a lot of Star Ocean vibes. Like, the first section of the game is on a space station, and then I get on the Astral Express, this train that goes through space.
Sweet.
And now I'm on this planet that, like, I got stuck and I have to deal with something on the planet. And the planet, like, they used to participate with, you know, other systems and stuff. They used to go to space, but they don't anymore. They kind of have their own problems. And it's so long ago that they don't believe me when I say I'm from space. And I'm getting into the intrigue going on there.
Rail, man.
Well, we didn't park it out front. It's still in space. It's not parked out front. So far, I'm really pleased with it.
Yeah.
Because it's a free-to-play game. So I haven't paid anything. I have not put a dime into this game yet. And I feel very much that I still could have... I'm succeeding just fine with all the stuff that I've gotten for free, for no additional investment. You level up with items instead of battle experience. If you've played Genshin, you know how character improvement and stuff like that goes. It works pretty much the same way. You've got enemies, and they've got different elemental weaknesses in little handy symbols above their little health bars, which is great, because then I don't have to remember as much. It's fantastic. And if you hit them with enough attacks they're weak to, you can break them, which stuns them, pushes them down the order, or interrupts a big wind-up, or something like that. You don't really have a lot of moves per character. You've got a regular attack. You've got, like, a technique. Some of them are attacks, some of them are support abilities, and then you've got an ultimate that fills up really fucking quickly. To the point where I do have one character where I'm a little tired of hearing her talk about her music, because she's got an electric guitar. And it shoots lightning bolts. It's really fucking
Tell
cool.
me more about this guitar that shoots lightning bolts, please.
I mean, it shoots big lightning bolts. And then sometimes it shoots...
It? Like in battle? Like for something?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
She hits like a power chord and like shocks these enemies and stuff.
I've got that character in Genshin, only it's fire. She's got and the flames go...
Yeah, she's very, very cool.
The design in these games is fantastic.
Yes, it is. It is. What was I saying? But then some characters, not all of them, will have little conditions where they'll do follow-up attacks and stuff like that. Like, I've got one... You get her for free. She's part of, like, story progression. You get this party member. Her name is March 7th. And I just need to mention that.
What?
Dope.
Yeah, her name is March 7th, and she is the only person I've met with a number in her name. So it's not like a normal convention or anything.
Is she like a robot or something?
No, she's not a robot. But anyway, she's got this, her special technique puts a shield on somebody. Okay. And, you know, it has pretty direct gameplay implications. When some of them do a wind-up attack, it'll mark who it's going to hit, typically. So you can shield them, whatever. But if an enemy hits somebody that she shielded, she'll shoot them with her bow. She'll, like, counter off of it. And that fills up the ultra meter a little bit, too. So if you get a good team with a lot of symbiosis to it, you can really chain stuff together and wreck shop. Because they'll put them around the map, and they're usually in front of, nice treasure chests. They just call them formidable enemies. They're usually pretty close to whatever level cap you have in this area, kind of based on progression. And those fights have been really interesting to try to come at and try to find the combination that works. Because it's not like I can go level up some more. Like, I'm level 20, I need to, do this ascension mechanic. And it's like, you can't do this one yet. You need to be here. You need to finish this mission or something. So I've got the pieces. I'm as strong as I can be that way. I need to figure out how to take what I have and get this treasure chest. I really like that. It's totally optional, though. You don't have to go through and get all those.
I have a question.
Yeah, shoot,
you played Genshin Impact?
Mm-hmm.
So the same company, makes the two games. So the more I hear about this turn-based, though, it's kind of turning me off a little bit, because one of my favorite things about Genshin Impact was the element system, where one thing played off another. Like, you create fire, and then it could burn grass, and the grass would create a lift of air, and you could float on it. A little bit Breath of the Wild-ish, but then there were...
A little bit Breath of the Wild? Absolutely Breath of the Wild.
All right, I
know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about, but let's not pretend.
Zelda did everything first. So I love it, and I want more of that, and I liked being in the 3D space. I would consider that one of the main things that hooked me is figuring out elementals, what to use with what, and I love that system. What is about this game that really elevates it, would you say? Because some turn-based is great, but for a reason. So is there anything about the game that really hooks you in the way that kind of hooked me?
I guess for starters, if that's what you prefer, and then, you're talking about how, like, you can use a water ability, the enemy's wet now, and then you can shock them and it does more. That's not here. Keep playing Genshin, they're not going to stop it. They're going to keep going. So I guess why do that here?
I'm already downloading this shit on my phone as soon as you got me with the guitar. So how in the world is this on mobile and on PC? Like, I don't
know, the same way Genshin Impact was?
Oh, I guess you're right.
It's like, I don't know, they've done this before. I'm not an expert.
That's wild, though.
Yeah. It's not doing anything terribly revolutionary with the turn-based stuff. If you don't like turn-based stuff, this isn't going to change your mind. If you're hardline against it, probably don't bother.
I like Persona.
But on the other hand, if you want to try it, it's free. Fucking try it.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't beat it.
Is it the same kind of wish system for getting new characters? It's the same basic thing. That shit drives me nuts in Genshin. I just want that fucking character. I just want that character.
Yeah, it's pretty much that.
Yeah.
It's warps now. You've got the two different tiers of tickets. One for the banners, one for the general. It's got one when you start that just takes the lower level tickets, and it's like you get 50 pulls out of this and you will get a 5-star character out of it. And that's nice. But I haven't really struggled even with like the characters it's given me for free, which are usually, not as high tier or what have you.
Yeah. I will say that as egregious as like the currency systems are in these games, you don't need to really spend any money at all. Which is nice. And you can get those currencies just by playing the game. I mean, you have to play a lot of it. But I've been playing Genshin for years, and I haven't spent a lot of what I would consider to be a lot of money, and certainly not like Fortnite,
Couple hundred here and there.
Right. So I will say that, it does have that addictive nature of it's like, well, I could play to get this ticket, but I also could just like drop $5. But you don't need to do that.
That's the wild thing here. So you need tickets to pull for characters. Whatever. That's what they call it. It's a train. Ha ha ha. Very fun. Whatever. Your currency that you can buy those with is called Stellar Jade. You can't buy Stellar Jade.
Oh.
I can't even remember what the paid currency is called because I'm not sure what the fuck it's for. I don't know if I just haven't played enough. Which, if I haven't played enough, like, I've played like 16 hours of this game. Yeah, sure, great.
Whoa.
But they do kind of give you that sense of just kind of like being confused about, you got to use this to get that, to get this, to get that, to get a chance at a character, right? That's all still present here?
Yeah, I probably should be ashamed of it, but like, I've navigated enough of these ecosystems that I get it. I know what I'm supposed to do and how to do it. It's not terribly complex. I've dealt with way worse. But no, this just seems to be kind of a quality thing that doesn't necessitate you spend a lot of money on it, at least not out the gate.
So the characters in the story, good. Pulls you.
Oh, sorry. I like the characters. The characters I've liked so far. The characters I consider genuinely enjoyable and pleasant. Nobody's blowing me away, but I like them well enough. They're a fun group, you know, and they play off each other well enough.
I thought Genshin's was good as well. Like they looked visually interesting, and then they had like at least a personality to them. Like, oh, this is, you know, the whatever character, and then yeah.
Everybody loves Paimon.
I don't know their names. They're either the red one or the blue one, and that's it. Oh, look, it's purple again. That's what I call them.
Oh, it's purple. Hey.
So which do you prefer?
Out of the two, probably Star Rail. Genshin Impact never really hooked me like it did you.
Ooh.
Okay.
I played it. It was fine. I feel like I hit a ceiling faster where I needed to grind for more materials for things. Not even stuff that I could purchase, but like that I needed to do some other stuff to make it work out. And I think here I feel a lot better about the characters I have than some of the ones I got in Genshin. Like, there doesn't seem to be as big like a disparity between like doing the big fancy flashy shit. Because they'll let you do trials, like try a character out. You get a little of something out of it, but they give you a little taste. It's a private thing. It's not just in your save file. It's a separate thing. But it's short, gives you an idea. Really, it just lets you know which banner you want to pull for. But like, some of them have been very, very cool visually, but I don't feel like I'm lagging behind because I don't have them. In a way that maybe some of the Genshin characters, I was like, this would change how I approach everything. But I didn't get it, so fuck me, I guess. There's a lot less of that here.
Okay.
As far as the story goes, it's fine so far. Like, I'm still early enough that like I haven't gotten... I'm still missing some bits of information. I kind of like where this... Frozen Planet story is going, because I've got like, there's part of the city that's above, part of it that's below, the two sides kind of playing against each other a little bit. That's going pretty well. I'm pretty interested there, but like, I'm a little worried it's just gonna be these little snippets without a lot of overarching between them. But I haven't finished like more than the first snippet yet, so I can't speak to that.
Sure.
Overall, I like it so far. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. So they came out with their pitch, their idea for their Disney Animal Crossing, but Disney characters. And they were like, it's gonna come out. It's gonna be free to play at some point in the future. You want to play, you want some early access time, you can buy one of these little kits, we'll give you some currency, send you on your way. I don't know how long ago that was. It feels like ages. Because one, I read that this game was coming out, that they were coming out of early access, and I was like, oh, huh. I kind of thought we were just going with it at this point.
I did too.
I thought it had just rolled into whatever. And I've played some of it. My wife wanted to play it. I've messed around with it. It's fine. It doesn't do Animal Crossing as well as Animal Crossing does.
It should be more Sims than Animal Crossing. Like, if I could make Donald Duck shit his pants,
yes,
and like Goofy light himself on fire.
That sounds fun.
It's got good stuff in it. Like, there's way more interplay between these characters than there is in like an Animal Crossing or anything. Like, Stitch's whole deal is that he loves to torment Donald Duck. That's like his quest line.
That's awesome.
On an individual basis. There's good stuff here. But now they've come out and they've said, hey, yeah, we're coming out of early access in, I believe it's early December. We're coming out of early access. We're doing this for reals, near future. But 2, we're not doing free to play anymore. 3, if you want to play this, we got all this content coming with 1.0. This whole steez, you know, in the image, it's got Rapunzel, it's got Gaston, and it's like you can see like the Aladdin palace in the background of this image. Stuff is coming, stuff you want. But if you're one of the people that's already paid in, because if you're playing, you've paid, you know, for early access. You have to like double your investment. You got to put down another $30 to play the 1.0 stuff. So not only is free to play not coming, if you want the stuff that comes out 1.0 like on, you have to pay more. On top of if you were to purchase one of the new. However, they're rewording what's currently available for purchase.
How does that work?
Is it
in
like
what
just,
way?
Is it just like a package of DLC, or do you still have microtransactions?
Oh no, the microtransactions aren't going anywhere.
No way.
Yeah, no, they are still in.
That's scum.
This is one of the scummier things that I've read about in quite some time.
So
this is up here
free to play, and you have to buy each character.
Well, no, here's the thing. Free to play was the promise. At 1.0, you can do free to play. If you want to do early access, you have to buy in, and it's like $30. Whatever. It's whatever. You know, other games have had you buy in at early access, whatever. I would argue that this game, that the people behind this game, the money behind this game is a little too big to get away with that. At least for as long as they have. But to then come out and say, it would be one thing if they said, we're coming out of early access, here is here is a look at what's new and what's coming. A lot of it hasn't even been like the announcement was also like, we'll show you more early November at this like event or something. And said, we're coming out of early access. We're not going to do free to play anymore, but like, look at all the stuff that's coming. We're adding this to whatever you've purchased. Just live service from there. That would be one thing. But now they're saying that even if you bought in early and you've bankrolled this stupid thing, you don't get to do the 1.0 stuff without another $30. And also, we're going to keep with the microtransaction shit in it. I'm like, what the fuck? They've managed to like lie or go back on like every single thing that they said when this thing was like announced as a thing that was going to happen. And yeah, like I watched, I've played a little bit of it myself. Early on, it was fucking rough, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really bad. About in some places, shit would just break. It was the most early access that I've been a part of.
I hear good things about this, and I was intrigued because, you know, my wife and family, they like Disney stuff, and I was like, okay, maybe we'll give it a shot. But this is why when I played the Disney Racer that came out, it was I forget the name of it, but
Speedstorm. Yes, I've played that.
Speedstorm, like it has that mobile, like built for mobile games, like progression system. earn the coins and unlock this. Like, you can't boot up the game and play with someone. I downloaded it. I was like, hey, you know, I told my wife, I'm like, let's play this. It's going to be cool. And you couldn't do it unless you unlocked the privilege of level 3 to play multiplayer.
That game is scummy for a world of other reasons.
So it's not even... You can earn stuff.
But here's at least Speedstorm is free to play.
Yes. So
like for reals.
Them going back on that and monetizing these games is super unfortunate. Like, if you think about back in the day, they had Disney, Pixar, like all these games. Some of them were good, some of them were bad, but at least you got a full thing. Like, monetizing this type of game, like, I don't like things that ask for your money that aren't good. And also,
I think most people would agree with that sentiment.
I feel like them also lying just kind of puts, you know, the cherry on the shit sundae. It's like, this is ass. And
free to play is more often than not a red flag, you know.
Yeah.
At least for me, it's at the bare minimum yellow. Like, I'm going to have to look at this thing, pick through it, and see how quickly it's going to want to start squeezing me.
Yeah, if it's like Genshin Impact and you're buying bullshit 6-star katanas for $150, blind box.
Honkai Star Rail.
It's unfortunate.
But like, I don't know. To go back on like everything that they laid this thing out to be, this is really shitty. This is Overwatch 2 will not have PvE shitty. Like, it's up there with that decision for me.
Yeah, they fucked that up too.
There really are some gross corners of the mass market gaming.
Yeah.
Well, Disney needs money.
Yeah, Disney needs money. Exactly.
There's one company out there that's hurting. It's them.
You know, after the toy division went away and like after the LucasArts shit went away, like, do you remember, like, they've made great just standalone video games every now and then, like the Aladdin and Lion King shit back in the Sega days and stuff like that. But this is so far from delivering quality. It's sad because Disney's still cool. I like.
Well, to be fair, a lot of those older games were licensed and developed by, you know,
other people,
Capcom and stuff like that. You know,
I mean,
we're just in the age where they're products now.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Like it's just a system.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, everyone, to Nut or No Nut, where we talk about an upcoming game and we say if it's doing for us, or if it's doing it for us, or if we're gonna pass on it because it looks like dog shit. Up today on Nut or No Nut is Robocop Rogue City, first-person shooter based on the 1980 whatever the fuck cop movie where this guy is like beaten and burned to death and then like revived as an android, and he has a big fucking gun that's in his hip, and he's like he moves like he's made out of like
He moves like you would expect a robot imagined in the 1980s to move.
He's got PTSD.
Like I do when I wake up in the morning.
He's got PTSD. He has the worst eyesight, but also the best eyesight ever because he sees like a green targeting erectile dysfunction in his view.
Reticle?
Robocop Rogue City. Now, I am surprised this exists to begin with. But I put a link, I hope you watched it, to the gameplay.
I watched part of it. You put up a 20-minute link, Antonio.
It was the first 15 minutes of the game.
It's like the first 23 minutes. Read your link.
Releasing in November 2nd. Developed by Trayon. I don't even know who that is. PS5,
I don't know who that is
Xbox
either,
Series, and PC. It's made in Unreal Engine 5, which is fucking crazy.
Why is that crazy?
Because Unreal.
Because it's RoboCop.
Yeah, it's
okay. All right.
So I wanted to ask you guys, nut or no nut? You interested? Are you down? Would you spend money on this bullshit? What's going on? I gotta look how much this shit is. Are they asking?
Oh, you know
full
it's a
price?
full price video game. Like what?
Oh my god.
There's a demo out. I haven't played it, but I do believe there is a.
Yeah, there's a Steam demo.
Yeah, I do believe there is a demo. I need to play that demo first but just looking at it, I'll say nut. It seems to at least have its aesthetics right. I like how one thing I noticed in the footage that I did watch, it makes the sound effects for the heavy plodding footsteps, but the only thing that like shakes like the heavy plodding footsteps is the UI. The camera stays still to keep you from just like hating it and getting sick, but like there's a little shake to like the visual, the game part. the UI. I like that touch. That's really nice. It doesn't quite have this is gonna sound tough. It doesn't have the level of violence I would expect, because we're starting with a franchise that starts with a man being blown to pieces.
For real.
With several shotguns. And like there was a bit in the footage I watched where, you know, he killed a guy and then he just kept shooting the corpse on the ground. I was like, oh, his head's gonna pop. And it didn't. And I did feel a little let down by that. So I'd have to play it for myself, but as far as like presentation goes and stuff, yeah, it looks like they're doing what needs to be done. It looks like what it should be.
So nut.
Yeah, I said
nut for Will.
And then Adam.
I like Robocop. I grew up in the 80s, right? I can remember Robocop driving through the guy that gets like drenched in toxic waste and his body just exploding into jello. Like, I remember all of that. And this game, like Will says, looks faithful. They get Peter Weller. Peter Weller is coming back as Robocop. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
The problem is Robocop moves like a 90-year-old man. And
he has no agility. Zero agility.
No agility, no speed. He literally walks, turns ever so slightly, and blows people up. Which can work in a movie, but I just can't see this being fun. It'll be entertaining if they can get it right. Like if RoboCop can precisely shoot a guy's dick through a woman's dress like he does in the movie, like, yeah, that'll be fun. Right. You know, I just don't see this being like an entertaining game all the way through. I am a no nut, unfortunately. As faithful as it looks to the property and as much as I like RoboCop, I just don't see it being a good game.
I feel like this should be a Telltale game. Something where it's just narrative focus and it's just him saying cool shit with that awesome voice. When you talked about... I
shot your pee-pee.
There were some really cool dark moments in the movies, and I feel like you could do that with a narrative focus. I don't think that the action is going to be the best. It seems very generic. They have the targeting like thing where it turns green and it like focuses in on the people so you could really mess them up with some bullets, but it's a no nut for me.
It's just by nature gonna be like the slowest action game ever made.
What you're saying about his movement is he has to articulate where his body can only power his hips to like pivot left, and then the rest of his body has to follow the hips, and then he can like turn to the left and right. It's ridiculous. He's a walking tank. It's cool. The graphics don't look complete ass, but I mean, why are they making this? I have no idea.
I think it'll be funny. I think it would be a fun game to watch somebody stream.
It's out in like 2 days and there's no reviews out, so just surprise, they're not gonna let people play it ahead of time. I do want to apologize to developer Tyon, T-Y-O-N, because they have made plenty of games, including Rambo the video game, released in 2014, which you and I both know that was a Game of the Year contender back then. Terminator Resistance, back in 2019, and you and I know that was my Game of the Year back in 2019.
All they do is obscure 80s action movie?
No, it's so much worse than that.
Have you heard of 30 in 1 Game Collection Volume 1?
Have you heard of 101 Pony Pets?
Oh my God, what?
What about 101 Bunny Pets?
Wait,
101 Dino Pets?
101 Pony Pets is making Robocop?
Yeah.
That was in 2007, but yes.
All right, I changed my mind. Nut.
Mahjong Championship 3.0.
I don't know, man.
My Fitness.
So the reason that this came up as the Nut or No Nut was because it's getting a bit thin as we get to the end of the year. So there are some things coming out, but RoboCop is a late contender for Game of the Year if they nail this.
Don't worry. Game Awards will be soon enough. We'll get some announcements. We'll have some more stuff to nut or no nut at. All right, it's time for the Caboose. We're wrapping this show up with our recommendation of something outside of the world of video games that we think you would enjoy. I want to start with Antonio. Antonio, what's your Caboose?
I've been bringing up Halloween and fall this whole time, and I gotta say, one of my new traditions is my wife has us watching all sorts of old Halloween movies we saw. Like every year she watches Nightmare Before Christmas, Hocus Pocus, etc. But what I didn't know is she's like, yeah, I watch these every year. What I didn't know was that she actually watches like 16, 18, 20 movies, not just the few that I've continued to watch with her over the last 10 years. She watches like all of them, like the old school Disney Channel, like after school special ones. So I've recently seen the movie Halloween Town, Halloween Town 2, Halloween Town High School, whatever. Like all these movies that are the most weird. I watched this movie called My Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. It's some problematic shit. So if you like that whole after school bad but it's good funny movies, to just be like, how did this ever get made? Watch some of that. Halloween Town it was actually pretty good, but My Mom Has a Date with a Vampire it was really good actually in the first half, and it gets so bad I wanted to break something. She's like,
doesn't stick the landing.
She's like, do not break anything. I'm like, I need to break something right now. So that's my recommendation. You got to dip in if you haven't. You'll be on a roller coaster of emotions.
Where do you find these shitty movies?
Go on Disney, the app.
Disney Plus.
Go in the Halloween section and just click on anything that has a terribly old thumbnail.
So you're just watching a bunch of made-for-TV Halloween movies.
This is correct, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes. From the Disney Channel.
100%. And I recommend it.
It's the Halloween equivalent to Hallmark Christmas films.
Oh, I'll watch some Hallmark movies sometimes.
Yeah, you know I will watch the shit.
Some are
out
good.
Of those
There's
Hallmark
this
movies.
one where this woman is like playing a twin, and she's like a princess, and then like
they're all
make
princesses.
A part 2, and then she's a twin, but then not, and then there's like a triplet. It's fucking crazy. But
here's
anyway,
the formula: you're a princess from a small town, or you're going back home to your small town. You have a boyfriend who lives in the city who's an asshole who only cares about his job. You go back to said small town and reconnect with your high school fling, and
who either owns a Christmas tree lot or is a candy striper.
Fuck yeah, Hallmark all day. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Megadads Live. If you enjoyed the show and would like to be a part of our community, make sure that you head over to the Discord channel. Address is right there in the show notes. And please join Megadads Plus for free. Go to patreon.com/Megadads and start getting your exclusive goodies now. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week on an all-new episode of Megadads Live. Have a great weekend.